Senate Bill 437. Imagine this. Imagine a rehab center in your town gets fined for breaking safety rules. Under current law, the fine is meant to be big enough to stop it from happening again. Under this bill, the state has to stop and ask, can the center afford the fine without hurting its business? What the bill says it does? Senate Bill 437 says it's trying to keep addiction treatment centers from shutting down by making sure penalties do not financially crush them. It also updates training rules so staff can complete required training online instead of only in person. What it actually does? This means regulators and courts can lower penalties if a facility says it cannot afford them. Treatment centers gain more flexibility to argue for reduced fines, while the state loses some enforcement strength. Accountability shifts away from strict public safety standards and towards protecting the financial health of a facility. Who benefits? Large hospital systems that run treated programs, big nonprofit and for-profit rehab providers, industry associations representing addiction treatment, and hospitals. Who pays the price? Patients and families who rely on strong oversight to keep facilities safe, small community programs that do not have lobbyists or legal teams, and the public, if unsafe facilities are allowed to keep operating with later penalties. Why it matters. Penalties exist to protect people, not bound business budgets. When fines are softened because a provider claims financial hardship, the risk does not disappear. It shifts onto patients, families, and communities who assume these facilities are being held to high standards. Questions to ask your lawmakers. How will the state make sure ability to pay does not become a loophole for large providers to avoid accountability? Why not require public reporting on when and why penalties are reduced? Would you support a review or sunset clause to see if policy actually improves safety and access? Bottom line, Senate Bill 437 keeps treatment centers open by weakening penalties, and that trade-off could leave everyday Texans less protected than they think.